I think we in there. We should be good. Peace and love to all the guys and goddesses and the high vibrating species on the planet. What it is, what it do, good people, how we living? What was that? Oh. Okay. Did this thing start? I think it did. I was looking away. How we living out there, y'all? What my bad. What's good, man? I'm just trying to make sure we ready to rock over here. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, but how y'all living out there? Salute to you. Okay, mates, come on in. What it is, what it do? Y'all already know what time it is. And yo, we got some numerology and we got some etymology. You know what I'm talking about? So we're gonna double up on y'all. You know what I mean? So y'all come on, pile on in. Shout out loud, how you doing? Shout out loud, come on in. Get y'all, you know what I'm saying? Get your ace in the back. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? Get your ace in the back. Get your ace in the back. Got the ace up front. New guy to the side. Keep your eyes wide, ears open. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Help us out with the algorithm. You feel me? We got a little pressure from them guys in the back. You feel me? But yeah, we're gonna keep it pushing as normal. We're gonna keep them in the rear view. But yo, like I said, we got some etymology and we got some numerology, and we're dealing with a K-class scenario, ladies and gents. And it's a key order. We got the key order. This is SCP-3004. So we just gonna go ahead and add that up since we got so much of it, and I don't want to take too much time. We got a 30 in the clip down here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get to this. So don't take up too much of your time. And we can get to doing to what it is that we do. So we do add up them 3 and that 4, and we do got that 7. So here we go. So for those born on the 7th, and you're resonate with number 7, you see 777, angel number, your life path could be number 7. You know what I'm talking about? We call out some trigger words on the positive side, the negative side, some tidbits, sometimes some health points, sometimes even occupations. All right, inner workings and all that. So this is the number 7, and we're gonna do some positives and negatives and see what we get out of this Imago, and then we're gonna get to the etymology down here. All right, so we got the positives is knowledgeable, intuitive, refined, thorough, analytical, probing, researching, and authority. The negatives are recluse, hermit, basically the same thing, fault finding, skeptical, crafty, cunning, deceitful, too critical. Got a couple tidbits here, which more like some occupations, pharmaceutical, science research, space exploration, undersea, in oil exploration, rulership over motion, let's see, a navigator, a librarian, a healer, a computer expert, a numerologist, a teacher. Yeah. So for the most part, so for the negatives, we're looking for that recluse, that hermit, that cunning, crafty, deceitful, too critical, skeptical, fault-finding mother sucker. All right. I don't know if we're gonna get this in Imago, because the etymology of the word is Latin for one, and the etymology is final and fully developed stage of typically of a winged insect. And when looking at that thumbnail, it looked like to be like a moth or something. So, and then the other one is, and this is the psychoanalysis, which is unconscious, idolizing image of someone that influences a person's behavior. For example, that's like a false sense of perfection seen in someone. Basically, someone that can do, a person that can do no wrong, regardless of what they do that's just horrible, bad, whatever. In your eyes, they can never do any wrong. They'll always be innocent. So that's what the psychoanalysis of Imago is. So again, it's a Latin term for image, but in this case, final and fully developed stage of a winged insect. All right, so that's why it's also important to know etymology of words, because this word is another word for image today, an image today. But back then, it's a final and fully developed stage of a winged insect. And again, the thumbnail of this video, which we're with the Volgun, salute, it looked like a moth. Definitely look like a winged insect. All right, so that's why we do etymology, and that's why we do numerology here at Academy 7 for the new people. Welcome to the Academy and Academates. Thank you for joining me again. Thank you for giving me your time. You know what I'm saying? Sitting in with me, helping me along the way. This is also video is also a request. Requested video by one of the Academates, so we also do that too. If y'all put in requests of videos that I haven't done or you would like to see me do, that's within the ranges of what we do over here, feel free to shoot them in the comment section. Staff will look it over. It passes. Then we put it in the classes. All right, so that's how it goes. All right, so Academates, I hope you have what you need, because I do. And without further ado, let's get to what it is that we do. All right, and that is bust. Oh, look, they don't even want to bust. We're gonna get it busting. All right, it's busting now. Let's see.
Archived document.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Miller, and the
Dr. Miller, peace to you. Is that hey man? Is that a roach? The fuck is that? Okay. Off bat. We already, like I said, we have a final and fully developed stage of a winged insect. All right. There's your insect. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, shallow.
The SCP we're going to be looking at today is SCP-3004.
Okay.
Object Class: Neutralized. Special Containment Procedures. The threat.
Who do we believe? We're going to believe the numbers. Negative. Deceitful.
Threat posed by SCP-3004 has remained neutralized. Containment of SCP-3004 is focused solely on interception of artifacts that point towards the existence of the Caitladji. To that end, archaeological sites in Ireland and Wales should be monitored closely. Artifacts are to be confiscated, catalogued, and incinerated. All SCP-3004 related matters are to be dealt with by the Theology Department. Director Clark is to be notified immediately if any events thought to be SCP-3004 related occur. SCP-3004-1 is believed to have been destroyed or otherwise deterred from the material plane and no longer requires containment. Any information found regarding the existence of the Cicadetta luculenta is to be destroyed, and civilians involved amnesticized due to its connection to SCP-3004. Description: SCP-3004 refers to a series of anomalous events linked to the rituals of a druidic cult known as the Caitladji or the Singers. They were located primarily in Ireland during the 15th century to the 19th century. It is known that their worship revolved around the life cycle of the now extinct Cicadetta luculenta. Due to the combined actions of various antecedent groups to the Foundation, including the Vatican's Congregation for Otherworldly Acts and the Royal Society for the Imprisonment of the Abnormalcy, all knowledge of SCP-3004 and the Singers was destroyed in order to contain SCP-3004-1. As 3004 was thus destroyed, the 3004-1 entities ceased all activity. SCP-3004 events centered around imagery associated with the rites of the singers. They occurred most commonly during a celebration surrounding a child's entrance into adulthood, which was signified by the first loss of primary teeth. These events were theorized to lead to the entrance of their deity, dubbed SCP-3004-1, into local time-space. SCP-3004 events are understood to have been the result of SCP-3004-1 attempting to act upon the material world. It is unclear as to when SCP-3004-1 began to react to the beliefs of the singers. While there are signs of varied SCP-3004 events, there are few reports that still exist. Artwork relating to SCP-3004 events show cicadetta lucidenta coming from the facial orifices, causing asphyxiation in many. A written record details the sighting of an anomalously large instance of cicadetta lucidenta, believed to be SCP-3004-1, appearing in the sky, the sight of which caused painful boils in those who witnessed it, along with symptoms resembling radiation sickness. Despite this, the singers were said to have continued their rituals in the face of SCP-3004 events, which was seen as necessitating their destruction. SCP-3004-1 was an entity which interacted with the singers through their rituals, causing SCP-3004 events. Little is known about the nature of SCP-3004-1. It is theorized to have been a thought form or an extra-dimensional being that, through happenstance, responded to the rituals of the singers. There is no data that exists to point toward SCP-3004-1 being anything greater than a Level 3 pistophage entity.
So it's almost like what, this fucking insectoid or something? I left one off. We having occult fairs over here, so there you go with your rituals and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Archived report. J. Clark, S.J.
Due to the intimate nature of this subject, i.e., all who read this will surely, Christ willing, know me and I them, and its current neutralized state, I'm going to keep the academic hot air to a minimum. I have no desire or need to impress any of you. You're my colleagues, and I think we all understand that there's no need to hide what is beneath jargon and posturing.
So tell us about
3004-1 is a deity, if you wish to define a thing as such. A deity is a creature of law, ritual, and belief. Certainly its existence doesn't shake my faith. Nothing has.
So
and
what
I doubt a curious thought form attracted to cicadas and greenery will shake it yet. It is not infinite and not all-knowing. Quite the opposite. Its limits are apparent. Cut off from a few rituals and direct believers, 3004-1 ceased all activity. There have been no resurgence events. Nary a peep. Truthfully, what little we have left of the history of the Kate-Legi, the singers in the vulgar English, is quite interesting. Based around the Cicadenta Luculenta and its apparent rebirth and what have you, it wasn't just a fringe druidic sect. This was nationwide. They were respected members of society. There are signs of them in Wales and Scotland, so, of course, before the inevitable violence, the Catholic Church in its ever-ineffable wisdom, may the Lord God forgive me for blaspheming his one true church on this earth, of course, etc., etc., did attempt to bring them into the fold. Before the complete eradication of the Kate-Legi from the face of history, in an unprecedented act of violence and usage of anomalous objects that many would see as foolhardy, maybe even horribly unwise, may the O5 Council forgive me for this slight against the forefather of the Foundation, of course, etc., etc., the parishes in certain rural areas of Ireland seemed more Singer than Christian. This is all we know. This is all that is left. The eradication of their rituals, of their culture, of their impact on Ireland and the world at large was snuffed out with alarming thoughtfulness. Not unprecedented, certainly, but consider the fact that this happened in the late 1700s. This was a desperate act of early incarnation of what we all became. Foolhardy and harsh, yes, but I truly cannot say that we would not have done the same, given what little we know of 3004-1's effect on our material plane. Of course, given the English view of the Irish at the time, It's not overly cynical to imagine that the Royal Society relished the chance to destroy the culture and the impact of the Kate-Legi. So total was their destruction that the extinction of the Cicadetta luculenta, charmingly known as the stained glass cicada, became an opportunity to even wipe their sacred animal from the memory of man. The deforestation of Ireland certainly led to the death of their species, but one must wonder if their extinction came from a more direct source. This, of course, is all merely speculation. Maybe the sacred animal merely followed their deity. Certainly it speaks to the fear they felt if the Royal Society and the congregation would enact the destruction of an entire animal species. A harmless creature, cousin to the New Forest cicada. Perhaps they feared that cut-off from ritual. 3004-1 would manifest through them. The idea certainly is not ridiculous. There is a strong connection between belief and fact. Perhaps their fear would have even made it so. Given the fact that the Kate-Legi were upright members of society, one can imagine that the resonance within their rituals that 3004-1 felt were mere happenstance. In my opinion, there is no reason to assume that this entity is at all related to the Kate-Legi and their beliefs. Something in them, I hypothesize, spoke to this thing and acclimated itself to their belief system. Think of it as something floating in a place close to ours, maybe layered above or beneath. Perhaps there are many creatures like it there. I doubt that an entity like this would exist alone, although I have no proof of this besides the certitude of my gut. Through these repetitions of behavior, through these beliefs, it was able to act on our plane, and it became what it was molded by. There is also no reason to assume 3004-1 to be malevolent. It is disingenuous to think of such an entity in terms of good and evil. Given the focus that the Kate-Legi had on life and death, along with the imagery of Christ the Saviour's death on the cross, it stands to reason that the 3004-1 manifestations would be violent. It spoke only the language it knew, the language of blood, wood, glass, and sacrifice. Perhaps the brutality of its manifestations, of the events associated with the 3004 rituals, could have been the 3004-1 entity interpreting the very real subjugation of the Irish people at the time. There is no reason to assume that the lives of its followers would not be just as important to the entity as their rituals. Certainly, the language of death and rebirth of the cicada, of the scourging at the pillar present in the rites of Roman Catholicism, especially in the era of its neutralization, and what is theorized to have been the rituals of the Kate-Legi could have lent to all of the violence, to the harshness of it all. Faced with their god, a terrifying thing that sowed discord, there is no record of their reaction. There is only record of their destruction. One would imagine them to have been horrified, yet to have necessitated their destruction, they very well may have followed the entity's whims. However alien, no proof has been found to point towards either hypothesis. But again, this is all conjecture. We simply do not know enough to take any approach to this object other than making sure it never comes back. I do not believe that we will be unable to deal with something like this, given the current technologies available to us. But it is best not to awaken a sleeping giant, as it were. Given what we have here, I can offer no other advice. Whenever we rarely find something that our predecessors missed, we catalog it, learn what we can about what we destroyed, and move on to other things.
Current document.
Item number SCP-3004. Object Class Keter. Special Containment Procedures. All communities that could possibly support an SCP-3004 event are to be monitored for uncharacteristic rises in death rate and attendance at places of worship. If a community is shown to have been the host of an SCP-3004 event or events, all afflicted civilians are to be amnesticized. Any injuries or deaths that occur because of these events are to be given applicable cover stories. At no point is an individual known to be involved in an SCP-3004 event to be considered for Foundation employment, D-Class, or otherwise. Mobile Task Force Y.
Okay. I retract my previous statement about the deception of the actual title, and now we get into the K-Class scenario and the Keter. The first one, they were being deceiving about telling us that the damn thing was safe, neutralized. But now he talking about all that stuff that he just called out at the top, bro. Come on now, you know they finna come with the thing now, y'all. Well, dang, let's get it.
99, Altar Boys is tasked with responding to SCP-3004 events in progress where possible and stopping them by any means necessary. All sightings of SCP-3004-2 are to be reported to the Theology Department. Images of 3004-2 are to be dismissed as hoaxes or deleted as necessary. All instances of SCP-3004-2 found in the wild are to be destroyed to avoid future SCP-3004 events. As of Project Sightsee Lux, there are to be no attempts to track SCP-3402 instances. Any attempt is to be made to destroy them before their disappearance. There is to be no further attempt at contacting SCP-3004-1. 3004-1 will be contained through cleanup of SCP-3004 events and the destruction of SCP-3004-2 instances. Currently, all containment is focused upon reducing the effects of SCP-3004 events which have already occurred. If SCP-3004-1's entrance into the material plane is unavoidable and inevitable, Protocol Damnatio Ad Bestias is to be enacted. Description: SCP-3004 refers to a series of anomalous events that occur in Roman Catholic, Eastern Catholic, Anglican, and Episcopalian communities. SCP-3004 events occur without any patterns connected to population or demographics other than religion. While SCP-3004 events are varied and have few similarities to unite them, the presence of SCP-3004-2 at each event proves a connection. SCP-3004 events are rituals carried out by otherwise non-anomalous individuals in their place of worship. Despite showing a great divergence from Christian norms of worship, individuals involved in an SCP-3004 event show great hesitation to stop engaging in the ritual, even those that involve self-harm. All individuals attending the place of worship for that purpose will not stop the rituals involved, even if their actions go against previously held morals. Individuals who normally exhibit entomophobia exhibit no fear of the SCP-3004-2 instances involved in the ritual. Deaths that occur as a result of SCP-3004 rituals will be categorized as death by natural causes, regardless of what was done to the individual. Those who witness an SCP-3004 ritual express a renewed interest in their chosen faith and seek to convince friends and family to accompany them to their place of worship. Examples of SCP-3004 rituals include the slaughter of a child bearing traditional stigmata wounds, out of which crawled instances of SCP-3004-2. The child was killed when the officiating priest bit out the child's jugular. SCP-3004-2 instances crawled en masse from the wounds up to 6 hours after the child's death. The forcible removal of the officiating priest's teeth by 12 children. The children and the priest were then seen to vomit instances of SCP-3004-2. The teeth were served in the place of communion wafers later on during the Mass. The violent castration of every male who has reached puberty. Scrotal tissues were gathered and disseminated amongst the faithful and worn around the neck as scapulars. The castrated individuals then mimicked the cry of an unidentified cicada, believed to be Cicadetta luculenta. Before many succumbed to blood loss, SCP-3004-2 instances were observed carrying off discarded testes. A visibly pregnant woman was chosen from the congregation and brought to the altar, where she laid and proceeded to give birth to over 60 instances of SCP-3004-2 and a stillborn infant wearing a wooden crown. The crown was burnt and the body consumed. SCP-3004-2 instances resemble the extinct Cicadetta luculenta, albeit with a much more colorful wing pattern than what has been described. Despite appearing in every way alive, SCP-3004-2 instances are primarily made of wood and glass. It is unclear currently if SCP-3004-2 instances are the cause of SCP-3004 events or vice versa. During an SCP-3004 event, SCP-3004-2 instances are observed in prominent parts of the ritual. After the ritual, SCP-3402 instances exit the church and disappear after flying at least 600 meters away. This disappearance is hypothesized to be the SCP-3004-2 instances returning to SCP-3004-1. either to feed it or perhaps be given further orders. It is believed that SCP-3004-2 is the mechanism by which SCP-3004-1 collects belief, or faith, in order to consume. It is unclear as to why SCP-3401 in its former incarnation did not seem to require the 3004-2 instances. As of Project Site-C Lux, it is now known that SCP-3004-1 created instances of SCP-3004-2 as a replacement for the Cicadetta luculenta. SCP-3004-1 is the entity that controls SCP-3004-2 instances and is believed to be fed by the SCP-3004 rituals. SCP-3004-1 is a Level 6 pistophage entity that exists in a dimension that exists partially within baseline reality, but primarily above it. From within this dimension, it is currently unable to directly manifest itself into the plane of existence. However, if given enough belief from the SCP-3004-2 instances, SCP-3004-1 will be able to enter the current baseline reality, which would cause an XK-class end-of-the-world scenario due to the brutality of SCP-3004 events. SCP-3004-1 views itself as the deity worshipped under the umbrella of Christianity. Due to this, it is theorized that the beliefs of Christianity-based religions, especially Anglicanism and Roman Catholicism, melded with the beliefs of the Kate Legi in such a way that their destruction caused SCP-3004-1 to feed on the beliefs of the only remaining familiar group. If SCP-3004-1 enters the baseline reality, Protocol Damnatio ad Bestias will be enacted. This will involve the usage of thaumiel objects and mass amnestics which will serve to erase Christianity from the historical record. Cut off from its food supply, this is theorized to be an act that would fully neutralize SCP-3004-1. Addendum. It has been noted that SCP-2852 has ceased its appearance after the first recorded SCP-3004 event. Due to the similarities of their manifestation, this is hypothesized to be related. Currently, all personnel assigned to SCP-2852 have been reassigned to SCP-3004.
Site-C Lux report.
For the record, my name is Agent Timothy Lutterman. I'm a member of Mobile Task Force Sigma-25. We've always called ourselves Ghostbusters. To be honest, I don't understand why. If anything, we become ghosts. Sorry, rambling. I'm just coming down from all that stuff we pump ourselves with to be able to get outside. Still seeing trails, you know. Still kind of freaked out from all that shit. For official record, MTF Sigma-25 is the result of Project Site-C, which was a project to basically use astral projection in order to better contain troublesome skips. You know, things no human or drone could ever go, which happens more often in our business than you guess. Yeah. Project Site-C Lux was utilizing Site-C technology and esoterica to, well, check out the big bug. So before I went in, I read the report on 3004. Fucked up stuff. The kind of stuff that gets your stomach in a knot just to imagine. You don't understand fear until you're a disembodied soul floating around and within and above and below a monstrosity beyond your reckoning. The method was easy enough. I don't know how they did it, but they captured a 3004 too. All they did was let it out and I latched onto it. Like, well, a soul bug. Not, you know, bug as in those things, but bug as in listening into things you shouldn't. Inside, where it lives, it's empty. There's only it, and then there's the bugs. Except they're not bugs as you see them, they're bugs as it sees them. And there's so many colors. They just kind of look like some Jackson Pollock nightmare smearing all over the darkness. But it's not darkness, it's nothing. This thing is within nothing. I can't describe it, but there's nothing else but it and the bugs and me, I guess. I'd say it was cold, but cold is a feeling. Sure, cold is a lack of heat, but this is a lack of anything. It's hard to look at it, that 3004-1. It's too big. It's just waking up. I realized that when I saw it. You know when you half wake up and lay in bed for a few hours before getting up? I don't know, maybe I'm just a depressive, but that's what this thing is. All of it is idle. The 3004 events are it hitting the snooze button and staring at the ceiling. I don't want it to wake. That's all I'm thinking. And then it sees me. It's a big bug, and it's an old man, and it's a cicada on the cross, and then it's stained glass and wood stretching infinity. It's too many things to try and pick up at once. It's like if someone played all slides in a slideshow at once, overlapping.
Right.
It hurts so bad to look at. And then it talks, and it all hurts worse. The thing you need to realize is that it's impossible to speak to these things with words. You don't hold a conversation. They beam thoughts, concepts, worlds at you. And you gotta sift through the shit to get something meaningful. I've met some talkative ones, but this was something else. This was too much. It thinks it's a god. Not a god, but God. It was so happy to see me. But that joy was nothing I wanted to be part of. It was all blood and teeth. It sees what we have. It sees what we believe. It thinks it's giving us what we want. It doesn't understand metaphor. It doesn't understand we don't resurrect. It asked me if I missed it. I don't think we ever neutralized it. Shit, maybe we did. But when it went to sleep, I think it thought it was a hibernation or like a birth. Like it laid an egg and made itself. Maybe it got to thinking it was even more of a cicada than before. And when it came back, it gave us our bugs back. It basically said, "You're welcome." It's not exactly protocol, I guess, to talk back to these things, especially something like this, but I tried to tell it that we didn't want them, that it all hurts us. I don't think it heard it. Didn't want to hear it. I feel like it smiled, and that was when its mouth opened. It's hard to explain the sight of it. Like a rainbow opening up and out, and inside there's colors you haven't seen. And you'd shit yourself if you were a body. And then I was a communion host, falling through its maw. I was the wine, too. It took of me, and it ate. I fell through it. It was endless. Lots of pain, but not the kind you'd be able to understand. A pain of the soul. It was prodding, searching me for new things. I don't think it gets too much from where it is. Like looking at a TV with a bad reception. It was so happy to read me. I felt its feelers all over my first girlfriend. I felt its teeth digging into my 10th birthday. It lapped up every memory of every mass I've ever went to. And I went to a lot. Theology major, probably why they picked me. I don't know why it's alone. Father Clark's report said this creature would be one of many, but there wasn't anything else. It was too big for there to be anything else. It was all space and time. I think all I did was feed it. I think it got more ammo from me, I don't know. All I can say is that we shouldn't send anyone else there. You can't argue with something like that, and we know enough. Don't go back. We don't want this thing to learn any more than it has. And it has so much history already. The thing I'm most scared of? If this isn't God, I think it might become. It's confident, and, well, it's all there is. I looked, and it was all there was.
Majority decision on protocol them ad bestures.
While working on the ethics committee, I always sought to live up to the morals instilled in me through the catechisms of Roman Catholicism. And it is a very hard thing to be a Roman Catholic in the Foundation. And
Academy, y'all let me know in the comment section where directly in the fuck do y'all think he is? You know what I'm talking about? Buddy was, hey, I'm just trying to say. I'm thinking on it, you feel? I'm just like, hey man, where you at, bro? You know what I'm saying? What you dealing with? You sound like, you know what I'm saying? Like you dealing with one of these like primordial, I don't know, bro. I don't want to say that either. You feel me? Like I'm just trying to scramble in my brain, just like, man, where the hell are you at, bro? Like, what are you dealing with? Like I can picture, you know what I'm saying, where, like, what you're looking at and what you're dealing with, but it's just like, where the hell are you right now? Like, you're in the astral plane. Okay, where are you? Like, what dimension are you in? That's crazy. Or did you tap into, maybe you tapped into the consciousness of a deity. I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. What y'all think, y'all? Yeah, y'all holler at me down there, man. Holler at me down there. You feel? I will meet you down there. You know what I'm talking about? For the sidebar. Please. Let's get it.
outside. This isn't due to any complicated tenets, nor harshness. It is trying to believe in something you know has caused undue harm. It gnaws at you. Protocol Damnatio ad Bestias, then, will allow for a cleaner slate. Judaism will remain untouched. Islam will only lose one of its prophets, nothing too damning. But Christianity, and all it has done, all it has caused, will be gone. I don't relish this. I wish it could be any other way. But the 3004 events are becoming more common. The big bug sticks its head through the topsoil, and we all cut it out at the root. It's impossible to say for certain what will...
Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Now I know exactly what bug that is. Dang. My bad. Yeah. I got a couple of... Yeah, okay. Okay. Right, yeah, right there on the table, yeah. Yeah, okay. Alright.
Happen. We don't know if we'll be undone, or if there will simply be a deletion. We don't know if something will fill the void, or if there will be a world with a great gap. Even then, it's better than the world that will come into being if we stay. The cicada god is coming, and it doesn't know the difference between life and death. Metaphor and smile don't translate well where it is. Part of me relishes what we're doing to it in a kind of petty way. There is a non-zero chance that that thing devoured my lord. Of course, if the Lord God could be devoured, he would not be my Lord and God, but still, the humanity in me cries out for the blood of that which killed him. We will starve it. The preliminary tests have been concluded. Protocol Damnatio ad Bestias will be enacted as soon as possible. And to stave off this devourer of God, we will throw one of our own to the lions, to be torn asunder, and to tear asunder, to be damned and to damn, to act as a perpetual lock on humanity, to stave off all belief even close to what a cicada can eat. To use less poetic terms, a suitable candidate has been contacted, a Roman Catholic reality bender. Ethics would not allow us to put someone into this situation without their choice, without their understanding of what will happen to them. And he took the mantle. They say the lions are beautiful. 12 machines, each at the peak of techno-eschatology. And they really do look hungry and prone. Black carbon and shining metal with lights that are prismatic, no colors that dazzle. And he will go in between them. They will open his brain, his mind. All Christianity, all that he knows and doesn't, will be obliterated. The Lord God sent Jesus Christ, his only Son, to suffer and die on the cross, and we, the Foundation, will throw one of our own to the lions for all eternity, to undo all Christ died for. An eternity of suffering to erase his sacrifice. It isn't a fair price, but nothing is. The Holy Father, as you may know, recently allowed for another road to sainthood. This is, of course, dying to save others. This isn't martyrdom, which is merely dying for the faith, but this is eternally dying for all of humanity. All that the river will be and has been. This will be the last and greatest saint of Christianity, and he will not be remembered. Before the eternal lions feed upon him, remember for as long as you can the eternal life of Saint Jude the Damned. Bulwark against the darkness. Hopefully this next world will be better. May God forgive me. If this is a sin, I will burn along with the last saint. Brendan Callahan, child of God.
Smoke. Alright, man. Catamate. That, I guess that's it. But I guess Buddy gonna take Dr. Miller out. Dr. Miller, peace to you. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. What y'all think? What y'all think about that junk? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, we definitely got. I know over here. You know what I'm saying? On this card over here, we definitely got to the bottom of a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? We got us like the etymology. We definitely hit the etymology. Like, cause all they was going through was a psychoanalysis. You know what I'm saying? And of course, we got they kept showing us the final and fully developed stages of the winged insect, which was with the cicada there. You know what I'm saying? It was like, and it dawned on me when I looked at it. It's like, oh man, okay, now I know what bug that is. That's that one that just be buzzing and making all the noise, and then you can find the little shells when they come up out of them, attached to trees and stuff like that. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, now I know what bug that is. Yeah. Insectoid. We ain't playing with it. We ain't gonna play with it, y'all. You know. But anyway, so I didn't want to stretch it out at the at the beginning. So I'm gonna finish up with this last little bit with the number 7, which is the inner workings of the 7. And it's basically to strengthen your spiritual powers through meditation and prayers. Use affirmations, visualization to aid in maintaining a clear mind and healthy thought patterns throughout your life. All right. So, regardless if the number 7 resonates with you in any form or fashion of significance, you may still find yourself in the energy of the 7, or any of the numbers, depending on the day, time, whatever have you. So it's always just a good thing to just take things in mental note. You might find yourself on the negative, and you know what I'm saying, you just may remember the positive sides, and that's basically the balance of it, how you balance that out. If you find yourself being too sarcastic or fault-finding, skeptical, cunning about certain situations that maybe you shouldn't be, maybe you should not be skeptical and just get to researching and be a truth seeker, you know what I mean? And dive in and not go so much against yourself, and basically get out of your way. And there's ways that you can turn it around where you don't have to reach so much outside of yourself, because basically the answers that you seek is going to be in you anyway. So you definitely want to look more inward than outward. And numerology will definitely help you along the way, because it gives you certain trigger words that you may resonate with. You may not necessarily resonate with the number, but you may resonate with a word, and certain words sometimes resonate with more than one number at the same time. So you may not resonate with 7, but you may resonate with 8. You know what I mean? And they may share energies in a sense, because for one, they're right by each other. You know what I mean? But that doesn't necessarily mean that that'll be the case. So that's why I say pick up what you need, leave the rest of it for somebody else that's walking past. Like, share, and subscribe, you know what I'm saying, to those that may be able to use the numerology. They may not be necessarily into the SCPs, but they could use the numerology aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you can help out a friend, family. So that's, but no pressure, of course, on anything. You know what I'm saying? We're just here to go through the files, to do what we need to do, to learn what we need to learn about such happenings that's happening in the background. Yeah, I mean, whether it's to all the way to this scale or higher or lower, you know what I mean, it's something going on, and we all know it. So let's not, you know what I'm saying, be goofy about the situation. Let's just get out here and get the probing, researching, there, and be thorough with it, knowledgeable, you know what I'm saying, psychic independent, you feel me, truth seeker. That's the number 7. That's the positives, you know what I'm saying, more of the positives right there, you feel me. So, and then being authority, you know what I mean? And then here's another one on this side. So it's intuition. So there's so many other words that just pops up. So you got intuition over here. You feel me? So, yeah. So be able to balance out your energy, guys. Numerology will help you out. Definitely you want to get into to etymology. You know what I'm saying? So, because that'll take you a long way, knowing the original energy of these words, or certain words that you may use. Because they say Latin is like sort of a dead language, right? But every day you're using, you know what I'm saying, words that's completely Latin. It's not even an English word. Like genius. The word genius is not a English word. It's Latin. The whole entire word is Latin. So every time you say, hey, he's a genius, you just said Latin. You just spoke Latin. You know what I mean? So get into the etymology, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Broaden your horizon. Pick up a book. You know what I'm saying? A good etymology book. You know what I mean? I got the new one. I'm still going through it, but it's yeah. I'm telling you, bro. It's an eye opener. Etymology is an eye opener, definitely. But numerology will definitely help you guys out. So y'all keep your head on the swivel out there. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget to keep yourself spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally protected. Don't let the world drive you crazy. Y'all keep that oil going. You know what I'm saying? Do your due diligence. You know what I'm saying? Use your discernment, your intuition. Please keep your critical thinking on at all times. Don't fall victim to the okie doke. Everything ain't what it seems, but then sometimes, you know what I'm saying, it's right in your face. So y'all just learn how to maneuver. Learn how to maneuver, you know what I mean? And we'll be alright, you know what I'm saying? But until next time, peace.